So the first thing that we're going to take a look at is introduction paragraphs. The way I'm going to do this is I'm just going to read through 3 different examples that were really good introductions, and then you can look at your essay, your introduction paragraph, and see if there's anything that you should change in yours. So this first introduction says, in the book To Kill a Mockingbird by Harper Lee, and the first thing I want to point out is that the person who wrote this included the title and the author. Some of you did not do that, so that's a good thing to do. So in the book To Kill a Mockingbird by Harper Lee, Atticus takes a stand for African-American Tom Robinson. I think Atticus did the right thing by taking this case and defending Tom, and it makes sense for him to for many reasons, like being very brave, he has integrity, treats everyone with respect, and protects innocent things or people. So what this paragraph did well is it gave me the title and the author. It told me that the character Atticus took a stand for Tom Robinson. It told me very clearly that they think it made sense for him to do that, and it gave the reasons. So that would be a simple, straightforward way to do the introduction. You give title and author. You say that you think it makes sense or doesn't make sense for him to defend Tom and give the reasons. The next example says, in the book To Kill a Mockingbird, Atticus is the father to Scout and Jem. Atticus and his kids live in Maycomb, an area where people were very racist towards African Americans. Atticus said in the book, simply because we were licked 100 years before we started is no reason for us to not try to win. He was talking about a case he took defending an African American named Tom Robinson. Based on the book, I believe it does make sense for Atticus to defend Tom Robinson. So in this one, it's a little bit different, but it still gives me title and author. And then what it does differently is right here, it goes into a little summary. So Atticus and his kids live in Maycomb, an area where people are very racist towards African Americans. And then it uses the quote from the prompt to tell us about the case. And it doesn't give us reasons, but at the end, it makes it very clear that it does make sense for Atticus to defend Tom Robinson. So this one's a little different, but still a great paragraph. It gives a little summary of the book. It tells us what the problem is, whether or not Atticus should defend Tom Robinson, and then clearly says what they believe, that it does make sense for Atticus to defend Tom. Next one says, in the novel To Kill a Mockingbird by Harper Lee, Atticus is given the option to defend an innocent black man or to conform to the racist views of society and not defend Tom. Atticus was right to defend him, even though he knew they would lose the case in the court. The way society was during this time period makes it harder for Atticus because at the time, if a black man was accused of a crime that he did not commit, he would be guilty just because he's black. So this one, similar things. It gives me the title and author. It tells me, in this case, it tells me a little bit about Atticus's decision that he has to make. So that's a good way to do this too. You can tell me the decision that Atticus has to make. He's given the option to defend an innocent black man or to conform to the racist views of society and not defend Tom. And then it clearly says the viewpoint right here. Atticus was right to defend him, even though he knew they would lose the case in the court. The ending here isn't necessary, but it's fine that it's there. So this part down here just tells us how hard it would be in this society to defend a black man because they would usually be found guilty just because of their race. So that is an okay part to include. It wouldn't have to be there. Those are 3 options for how to do your introduction. And now what I want you to do is take a look at your introduction and see if you have some of these basic things. Do you have the title and author in there? Have you either explained the prompt, the situation that Atticus is facing, or at least given a book summary so that people know what's going on? And have you clearly answered the prompt? Have you said whether it does or does not make sense for Atticus to defend Tom? Some of you put that answer in your first body paragraph instead of the intro. So make sure that's in your intro, saying whether or not it makes sense for Atticus to defend Tom. And I know that a lot of you skipped out on title and author. So take a look at your introduction. Let's pause the video on this screen so that you have time to do this. You'll look through your introduction, have some time to write yourself some notes, and then we'll start the next video for the body paragraphs.